with his pants hanging off of him, that's wearing an undershirt as an overshirt, you know. So tell us a little bit about what brought Van Turner to this very respectable and honorable position.
Well, I would have to say that the community definitely raised me. It took a village. I grew up in a predominantly African American community out in Whitehaven. I attended predominantly African American schools, from Doubletree Montessori School in Westwood on to Haven View, graduated from Whitehaven High School. And so the community really had a vested interest in seeing its young black men and women succeed. I mean, it was expected of us. The community that I grew up in, the church that I attended, these were all mechanisms in place that were there to encourage me along the way. I had play mothers in each of these communities, whether it was my basketball coach or football coach or an assistant pastor at church. So that helped me out a lot. And then I attended Morehouse College, and I think that's where I really had a change. Brother Tadero Muhammad mentioned about the Million Man March, and I just remember that day at Morehouse College. Several busloads of brothers went to D.C., and the brothers that couldn't make it to D.C. took off from work, or gathered around the TV or the radio just to take a day out. It was a day of atonement, and just to say, look here, as African American men, we have to get it together. At Morehouse is a school of African American men, 3,000 men, and you're there to become future leaders for your community, to give back to your community. So at that stage in my life, it was what I needed, and it definitely encouraged me to go forward, to compete in law school, to say that, here I am from an African American college, an HBCU, and I'm going to do as well as you are doing from your school. We were taught that no matter who you're up against, where you're going, you can compete. You need to be proud of who and what you are, and you need to stand firm in what you believe in and push forward. So it really helped me out attending Morehouse College to do that, and I just moved forward on those bases, and I've been able to succeed and have been able to come back home and try to do the right thing to give back to the community. And the thing that I tell students when I go to speak to their schools is I'm just like them. I wasn't private school. I wasn't in private school. There's no silver spoon. I was not born a silver spoon. Both my parents were school teachers, and they saved and did what they had to do to get me and my sister through school. So I come from where they come from, and I am a strong indicator that you can make it, and you can be a successful person without rapping like Jay-Z or playing ball like LeBron James. You can still succeed and be an asset to your community.
That's wonderful. And as I listened to you, you reminded me again of the minister's theme, because by your own testimony, you are the product of a community. And one of the minister's analysis of our condition is that all of our problems, the litany of problems in black America, I don't care if it's the rise of HIV, I don't care if it's the increasing numbers of us that are functionally illiterate, the divorce rate which is skyrocketing past 50%. In the minister's analysis, he was saying that all of these problems could be solved if we would establish or build our community, because in community life there's so many intangibles that sometimes are taken for granted. Right. And as we have immersed ourselves, if you will, after integration into the majority culture, it seems to be difficult. The concept of community, which we know couched inside the word community, is unity. Talk about some of the challenges that we face to come together so that we as a community can produce more Van Turners, more Tadero Muhammads. What are some of the challenges that we have to be prepared to face and overcome as we move forward to build our community and accept our responsibility?
Well, I think that, number one, we have to put fathers back in homes. I was fortunate enough to grow up in a home with a father, and that means a lot. And if you were to trace back the nucleus of each community, it's, you know, it's the family and what's missing from the family. You know, with welfare and how that's set up, you're penalized for having the man in the home, so the man has to stay away from the home, stay away from his kids, so the government can cut the check to the family. So that does two things: the man is not in the home, and the man is not working, and it's forcing all of this on the woman to raise the family. I mean, we can't have that and survive as a community. So encouraging our men to be men and to be fathers, I think is very vital. And so I'm so appreciative of the work that you all are doing in this community. I'm appreciative of this forum, appreciative of Brother Darrell Muhammad, because we have to teach boys how to be men and men how to be fathers. And those are the cornerstones of our community. And without that, I mean, we have no future. I think once you put the black man back as head of the family, back in the home, I think you will see a change, and that's going to take economics, that's going to take a reduction in crime, it's going to take spirituality, it's going to take all of that coming together, and I think that's exactly what we need to have occur.
And Brother Darrell, you know intimately the perspective and the mind of many of our young men today. Sometimes I reflect, Shelby County just began this news publication called Just Busted. And each week it has the actual mug shots of those that are being arrested, and it has a snippet of their charge. And it's always interesting to me that in that little newspaper, it's a clear indicator that many of our youth are finding themselves incarcerated. So coming from that background, and it's good for to see, you know, because both of you are united on this project and united on this kind of work, but admittedly come from different sides of the track.
Right, yeah,
you know,
right, that's true.
And so, Brother Derek, give us a perspective on what it takes to become successful, and demystify success if it is to be demystified. You know, because I think a lot of times our young people, and I'm emphasizing the youth because I think, you know, it's a consensus of opinion. Right. We are facing a day that we never thought we would face as a people, where the succeeding generation is threatening to make less progress than the preceding generation. Mm-hmm. So I'm referencing the youth because the youth are filled with a lot of issues, and of course we know the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. But what would you say, coming from your background, that it takes to be successful, and what kind of attitude do you have to have as a young man to succeed, but at the same time maintain a principled existence?
Yeah, that's something, you know. I thought about several things hearing you talk. One of the things to be successful, you know, when I heard the teacher, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I realized that I had to accept responsibility. Like, you know, I was coming out of prison. I was going to go back and doing the different things. But when I heard the minister, he pricked my conscience, made me realize, man, I can't do this. You know, it's a game, and I'm a man now. I went in 19, came out 23. You know, I'm a young man now, and what it takes to be successful is around the right people like Van and them. And I can remember because of trying to live right, like according to teacher Honorable Elijah Muhammad, God put you in rooms with people that they teaching you stuff that you won't get now, but you'll get later. I remember being in a room with millionaires, and I tell young brothers, you know, I was telling young brothers the other day, you know, people stereotype you. So the best thing for you to do is, like, don't allow them to do that. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teach us, you know, we must be clean shaven, faces must be cut short and clean. You know, you must look upright and decent, so you can go through the door with no stereotypes on you. You can learn something maybe that you would normally learn, but you go in there like Lil Wayne, Master P was just saying this other day that, you know, look, he don't have tattoos on him, and all the guys with tattoos, it make it harder for them. If Lil Wayne don't have money 10 years from now, Lil Wayne gonna have problems. And so what I try to tell young brothers today is, like, man, stay focused, man. Hang around positive people. Try to not let people stereotype you. If you want to get in certain doors, look a certain way. You know, act a certain way. Don't think and you keeping it real and you're gonna change the society.